What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge. Welcome to another episode of Hanging with the Boys. Today, I got the hottest, fastest growing graphics company in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe. I got Timo and Rick in the house.
What's happening?
How's it going, boys?
First of all, how's life going?
Great.
Yeah.
It's never been better.
Yeah, man. For me personally, it's a little on the rocky side. Just had a big crash and I'm dealing with some concussion symptoms, but other than that, we're good. We're kicking.
Yeah, I saw the crash video. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was probably one of my most violent wrecks in a while, to be honest. It really knocked my head loose.
Yeah.
But we're all right. The bike's way more hurt than I am, so I'll take it.
Yeah. You guys are living the married life.
Oh yeah.
You have kids?
Yep.
Okay.
3 kids. Wife.
You have 3 kids?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I thought you had like 2 daughters.
2 daughters. We just had a boy, and not just had, but he's about 18 months now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he's a little
Congratulations.
maniac. Yeah.
Nice.
Future of motorsports.
Yeah. One would hope.
Yeah.
I've learned, well, I have friends that have kids and seem like they pushed them at the very beginning and their kids are ripping right now, 5, 6, 7 years old. And then my kids, I kind of took the more lenient. I have 2 boys. Do whatever you want. And then we're still at that stage where they're like, oh, well, I'm like, okay. Well, maybe I should have pushed you a little bit harder, but it's a tough one. I don't want to be that guy.
Passion.
Yeah,
I'm a little, he loves bikes and everything already. So I'm a little like leery. I'm like, man, you want to go play golf or something? Do something that's where the real money's at?
Yeah, that's cool. So you guys are all good?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys, you guys have Qhik Moto. Is that the name of it? Qhik Moto or Qhik?
Yeah, the whole entity is called Qhik Industries, but as of right now and as we grow, the graphics portion of it's called Qhik Moto.
Okay.
And, probably Qhik Trophy and some other stuff are coming down the line very soon.
Right. So this is actually a perfect time to have you guys on, and thank you guys for coming on. You guys are hitting your 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
You just hit it.
Yeah. It's been quite the experience, man. There's a lot of ups and downs and a lot of uncertainty, but
yeah, it was weird because we started in June, so that first 6 months it was just kind of like wild west is what we called it, and we said yes to every single job and we just figured it out. And then January 1, we diversified it and stuck with the graphics and the trophies, and we've been pointing in one direction now. So that's been nice for us, saying no to jobs and saying yes to things we're passionate about and want to move forward on.
Yeah, kind of what the company was built on at the very beginning. But I get it. Yeah, you kind of don't want to say no because you want to make those contacts. You want to make some money, especially starting out. But then once you start going, then you're like, all right, let's go back to the core of what this company was about, which is the Moto Graphics and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, and we both had businesses in the industry prior, and that's kind of where this story all starts, is coming together and creating one brand.
Okay. Yeah, so what are your guys' backgrounds?
Go ahead, Rick.
So, man, I can go back, I guess, to the earlier days. I kind of started out with graphic design in high school. Knew I had a passion for it. Went through jobs that I just didn't really care for. It wasn't there. The fire wasn't there. Got into MX trophies, and then from there, kind of really liked being in the industry, and started out doing graphics on the side and stuff, and then realized that I really enjoyed doing that. And down the road, Timo and I made our relationship. He was doing the graphic printing for me, and we just decided to kind of branch off and do our own thing. We're more powerful as one entity instead of being separated.
Right. So you were working for a company called MX
Trophies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's kind of what they did. They did trophies.
Yep. Specialized in trophies and just some design work. So that was kind of really like kicked off my passion for being in the industry and everything.
Oh, nice. And how long did you do that for?
I did that for probably about 7 to 8 years.
Okay, so you got some good experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then you linked up with Timo.
Yeah. We were doing printing together for probably about 2 years, and then started having the conversation of combining forces and really trying to take over the industry. And it's been going great, man. I kind of asked for a better partner, and we've both been learning and growing and just onward and upward. So it's been awesome.
Were you guys friends before? That's like real friends or just kind of acquaintances?
Yes and no. We knew each other, and we had really good friends that were kind of holding us together in a way, but never like, hey, come over to my house type thing. It was very surface level. So when we started this partnership, we were fairly new with our personalities. We didn't know how each other worked or any of that, and we had to grow into it. Yeah, and it was tough too, just because I was doing this other business for so long that I was like the black sheep of the motocross industry. I did the printing for all these graphic brands, and it was weird. I never got any recognition, and that's when I asked Rick, let's join this and let's move forward.
What? So you just did printing?
Yeah, it was weird. I actually was a crane operator and going through the apprenticeship program and being a journeyman in the union, and I was still racing professional motorcycles, and I lacerated my liver and I couldn't work for about 6 months, and I had a buddy that owned a graphic company, and he loaned me kind of a little bit of money, and I was able to pay him back within 3 months, and we I bought a printer, and I never printed anything. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I liked design, I liked graphics, and I just kind of said screw it and kind of went from there.
Yeah. Okay. And how long were you racing for? I mean, you still race now, but how long?
Yeah, I started when I was 10 years old. I'm 29, so I've been racing for 19 years, and I've been pro for 12 of those years.
Okay.
So a long time.
And how did when you went pro, you thought you're gonna make it, or?
Yeah, it's man, the older you get, the more you realize how hard it is to break into the sport. When you're young and dumb on 80s, you think it's right there. But as I grew older, I knew I wasn't going to make it. And I had good support. I had everything to make it. But I got paralyzed when I was 16 years old.
Oh, really?
And that really threw a wrench in my amateur program, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it, but you raced arena cross this past season.
Yes.
You've done outdoor nationals. Mm-hmm. You've done supercross?
No supercross. I've tried to get my license when they started this futures program.
Right.
But to be honest, man, these little kids, they're gnarly.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of at that age where I wasn't willing to send it like that anymore.
Right. So that was going to be my question for all the kids listening and or the up and coming. Yeah, when you're young, you think you're going to do it, but or sometimes maybe it's the parent pushing.
Yes.
My kids has to make it. And it's like, they don't really see that, hey, your kid's not that good or whatever. But what do you think separates the top, even like just in an arena cross, what do you think separates someone at the very top to maybe like a top 15 guy?
I would say a lot of it's repetition. I think a lot of people think they're working hard, but they're not working smart. And that's probably the biggest thing I would say is you even hear guys like Ryan Dungey, he did everything on his own and went to the Alden Baker program, and he was doing less in the Alden Baker program than on his own. So I think it's just perfect practice makes perfect. And a lot of people are just practicing because they think they have to.
Right. Okay. And what do you think separates them as far as skill on the track, though? Just corner speed, more they have that mentality to just go for it, or what do you think it is? Because you know, sometimes especially in the pros in Supercross, you have Deegan finishing first, but then you have these top 5 guys are like right there on him.
Yeah.
So it's like what's separating, and he's always coming up top, and
I think at that level, it's truly just mentality. I think we can hear that in Deegan's podium speeches right now is like, he's not there to make any friends. Right. And I think some guys are, they're trying to not burn bridges, because what if you are in the title fight down the road? Like, you don't want enemies and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it's just mentality. You got to put your helmet on, see red, and just go.
Yeah. So that's interesting you say that, because I think some people would say like equipment, a team backing you, but then you see like Ty Masterpool.
Yeah.
He's on PC now, and this past weekend I think was his best weekend so far.
Yeah.
But to say that he's going to be up there battling with Deegan and then finishing 1-2, kind of a stretch. So I don't know if it's the equipment sometimes, but I think that's what people equate it to. They're always like, well, if I was on that team, I'd do it. And it's like,
Yeah, and it's racing at a high level for, X amount of years. You learn it very quick. It's no different than take a Ken Roxon, for example. If he hops on a 2004 CR 125, he's probably still beating me.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's just he's able to turn that switch off and go really fast.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I've always been curious, the guys, what separates those guys, because sometimes it's a little bit of time. It's like a second,
Yep.
And racing, it's a long time, but for the normal person, you're like, dude, that guy was just a second slower.
Yeah.
Why is he not finishing up top? And,
Well, after 20 laps, that's 20 seconds,
Yeah, true.
and that's a lot of time to make up.
Yeah. All right. So you kind of figured you weren't making it so much in the pro ranks.
Yeah.
So then you started printing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of were like, I need a graphic guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was only doing the printing, so I had zero idea how Illustrator worked, AI.
Right.
And to be honest, man, I'm a terrible designer even now. I don't really know much. I've doubled down on what I'm good at, and I don't really focus on what I'm bad at. And that really helps because you surround yourself with people that do know it.
Right.
And, Rick here doesn't need to know about production or how things are made because he just needs to make a badass design and I'll take the rest.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of balancing out everyone's successes.
Yeah, that's actually very smart. Yeah. And how'd the name come about?
It's actually funny. Like, nothing in particular. We sat down with a whiteboard for probably 10 hours and just wrote out names. And we wanted something that, was kind of a verb and in your face. And we thought Qhik spelt a little different was the good way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the hardest part of building something. It's always the name.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
big
so
time.
critical about it. And at the end of the day, like bands, you hear bands, butthole surfers back in the 90s. And it's like, what's going on? But they make it. And once they make it, the name doesn't even matter no more.
No.
But I'm sure you guys heard of the Main Event with
Yeah.
Daniel Blair and Mace and everyone. There was a time where they were trying to change the name from Main Event to something else, and they were just like struggling. It's like, dude, just pick something.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because if you guys do blow up, people are going to be like, oh, that's the coolest name. And it could be the dumbest name,
Exactly.
But yeah, the building a name and building the brand is kind of like the hardest part at the beginning, because you're very critical about yourself.
Yes. And when it's spelt a little different, you also get the haters, if you will, saying like, what's Qhik? Or, they don't even attempt to spell it out.
Yeah.
So we've kind of had to deal with that, but it's actually great because now people are taking like a double take at our business when they're looking at it. They're like, Qhik, and it kind of gets embedded into their brain because they learn it, or they have to learn it.
Yeah.
I will say I do like, it starts with the Q, because when you do look on social media, you type a Q, that's going to be the first thing that pops up over another company,
Yes.
So if you spelt it Qhik like a normal, they'd probably be like Quicksilver, Qhik this, Qhik that.
Yeah.
But that way yours is the first one that pops up.
Yeah.
QH, and then it's going to pop up.
I can't even spell Qhik normal anymore.
Yeah.
Normal Qhik. It's always QHIK. And
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So business has been good.
yeah, it's been booming.
Yeah.
Steady. New clientele all the time. So it's just keeping that quality, keeping what we strive for, making sure that we're getting a quality product to people on time. And the biggest thing is just kind of building that relationship with the customer and really just making it personable for them.
Yeah. Was there a point from in this year that you guys got like a little overwhelmed? You're like, oh my God, this is a little too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a
How'd you
few
guys deal with
times.
that?
There was towards the beginning of the year, like a lot of spring, once spring kicks off, all the events start happening. We have Virginia City Grand Prix. There was the new event, Stadium GP, which was awesome. That one was a big one. Both events were great. And then along with everyone ordering graphics, because racing's picking up. So it definitely kind of doubled down and hit us big. And we kind of expected it, but didn't expect it to that extent. And then it was nice. That was an eye opener and allowed us to bring in an employee and kind of take the next step.
Okay. So you guys do have an extra employee with you guys. So it's
Yes.
you two and then a third person.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And what's he do?
He actually does both. He does production and design. We're getting him caught up to design. He's been I worked with him a long time ago at MX Trophy, so I kind of knew his background, trusted him, kind of knew his work, and always did a great job with stuff, and always got along with him good. Keegan, and brought him in, and it's been awesome, man. So he picked up everything really fast, plotters, printers, and then got him into design, and he's been taking it and running with it. So couldn't be happier.
When you guys, I had some questions beforehand, but now I got to restructure them. How you say, because I thought maybe you guys just started the company. You're like, oh, it's just something cool that we want to do. But you obviously have a background in doing it, and then you have a background in the printing part of it. So it only makes sense to combine and do a company. So did you guys have any like nerves coming into it, knowing that there are some other big, I could think of two, graphic design, or not graphic design, but just printing graphics for bikes and everything, like in the industry right now. Was that a thought in your head, or you just like, no, we're just doing it anyways?
It's funny because there's two sides to that answer. I was the one that was like, screw it, like we'll make it through it. We just got to beat them, just like the racer mentality. Like, you just kind of got to show up and see how you do and work forward from there. Where Rick was like, man, this is a saturated market. I don't think we can do it. And I would say that was probably our first conflict, if you will, of like, should we do this or not? And it was convincing on my end to get Rick on board. And, I drew out the business plan and I showed Rick, hey, this is what we could do in our first year. And, I'm proud to say we blew my business proposal out of the water for this first year. So
and that was like my first thing when I heard you guys started something, not knowing the background. I was like, that's a tough business because there's some pretty big players right now in the industry that dominate certain parts, but that doesn't mean that you guys can't get in somewhere, right?
Exactly.
But I'm just like, oh, that's a tough one. And then, so personally, I've used you guys for graphics twice now. You guys made my numbers for a race, crashed my brains out. One race, so now I need numbers again. So I'm your best customer. Going like that. So hopefully I'm not crashing anymore. But I have like loyalty. Whacker is a friend of mine for a long time, and he has Era. I don't know if you guys have keeping up with that or have heard, but it doesn't. It's a good job for you guys right now.
Absolutely.
It's a good opportunity for you guys right now. But I like to support my friends. I consider you guys friends. But at the same time, there's this guy that I already go with graphics. So, and I don't even hit him up. If I hit him up, he'd, give me a deal, like all that stuff. I'd just go through the website and just like, hey, they do a good job sending me my stuff. And, that's how it is. And I kind of saw that maybe they're taking a little hiatus. I don't know what's going on. So I was like, dude, let me give Timo a call. And I hit you guys up, and dude, you guys blew it out the water. So now it's the loyalty's there, know, and support the homies, and then also just like a local. So I'm super pumped that you guys did that. And then now it's like, I'm a lifer, I guess.
Yeah. We appreciate you giving us that chance, and that's kind of how we see, like that first initial customer interaction is going to make the biggest impact. It can either lose the customer or you have a customer for life. So that's where we really try and focus on it. And I think just the transparency too, keeping up with the customer and letting them know what's going on. They appreciate that. It speaks volumes. So
and like I said, I thought that was like my initial thought with you guys. I'm like, I really do. And I know Jones has been using you guys, but he still uses Era too. So I'm like, I really want to use those guys, but I want to be loyal to the homie over there too. And whatever they got going on now. But that's why I was like, it's a tough one, but seeing the background now, like you guys are good at different things, build it together. So now it's like, it's a no brainer. With that being said though, like, what do you guys think? Not so much like poaching other people that have different graphic companies that they rep or whatever, but it's kind of like, seems like there's an opening there now.
Well, what's unique about it, two things. One, our name holds us to a standard. You can't be Qhik, be called quick and be slow.
Right.
So we've known that from the very beginning is we got to have quick emails, quick production time, all that stuff. And still, trying to keep up with the QC and the quality control of all of that. With your question of poaching, we have yet to spend $1 in ad spend. We've yet to really poach anybody. It's very been natural, and we're just taking one step at a time. We're not trying to grow too fast, even though we have grown really fast. It's not our intention. We're really trying to take this slow because this is a long-term play for us. This is our retirement. We are going to sell this company and retire one day.
Yeah.
And every single move has to be strategic. And we even actually both work with a business coach from the Tony Robbins program.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of have a mediator, if you will, in our business that, really helps both of us kind of stay neutral with each other in our situation. So we've thought of everything from the beginning. And going back to your question, as far as poaching, I can't say the name, but we actually do a Yamaha team in Supercross that has another graphic on their bike, but it's us doing it.
Oh.
We're doing the design and the print. But we can't even say, and it was one of those things, they came to us and said, hey, we need quick turnaround. We need, quick response on email. We have a lot of last minute stuff, and we're able to fulfill that. But kind of going back to like my story is, you kind of feel like the black sheep again.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year our logo will be on that Yamaha team.
That company starts with an S?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a new one that I've seen as well. And I like what you guys are doing because I did see that, with Era, though, Whacker, he's been in the industry for so long.
Totally.
He's really good friends with like Twitch and all those guys. You get those graphics on Twitch's bike and everything, and all of a sudden everyone wants them.
Yeah.
So it's a organic build right there.
Mm-hmm.
But that company you're talking about, I kind of saw them start overnight.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're on Supercross team. They're on Reed's kid's bike, like all of these other bikes. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So they're probably just throwing money out there for getting people in or whatever. So that's why I was like, man, there's these big hitters now in the industry that you guys got to compete with.
Yeah.
But you guys are not even like focusing on that. You're trying to do like the homegrown, organic build right now. And then eventually it'll get to that.
Yeah. And, at the end of the day, those big companies, they give away a lot of free product. And even though we do with our local community, with local pros trying to do the nationals and stuff like that, it's we're looking for our big guy,
right?
Whoever that is. But until then, I don't want to throw, free graphics and all this product for, just what a shout out or a tag on Instagram or anything like that. Like
right.
I want our guy invested with this, and, he wants us to succeed just as much as him. So, we're just kind of waiting for that guy. We're not trying to poach or anything like that. We want it natural. We want it slow, because if you do get that one guy, the business growth can become very fast. And we're aware of that. And right now it's just one step in front of the other. And that's it.
Yeah, that's just the luxury of doing well. So you guys are doing well enough to where it's like, okay, let's pump the brakes. Let's not get there right now. We will get there.
Yeah.
But let's focus on what we're doing right now. And I when you guys started, I saw those guys start too, and I'm like, damn, dude, they're already on Supercross bikes and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you guys off camera about it. I believe one of my buddies is behind it, because I remember he was posting a lot of it. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I was like, well, it makes sense. He has all the connections in the industry. So
yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes those businesses just blow up.
Yeah.
And they can't keep up.
Yeah.
And then they're no longer
big time.
So yeah, I think that what you guys are doing is actually really good.
I appreciate that. And a lot of the big guys, now they're overseas. If you pay attention, like the big graphic companies, they're all in Australia and where it's backyard designs, like Germany or something. Yeah. So it's kind of still like the old core group, like the old Decal Works and stuff like that. That's in the US. So I think there is a market for a bigger US based graphic company and trophies too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one-stop shop for everyone, kind of a co-intermingles with each other. If we have the trophies going out, we can have our brand out there for graphics and stuff. So, that lands in the hands of each rider. So that's huge for us.
Yeah. And you guys visiting merch at all yet?
That is a topic of conversation as we speak. We want to. A lot of people like our brand, and we have a ton of different logos and styles, but it's expensive, man. And it's just kind of like everything else. It's just one step in front of the other. Merch is coming probably sooner than anything else, but until then, it's we got to fulfill our online orders and stuff like that first. And with the name Qhik, we want to be quick with those customers.
Right. Yeah, you guys kind of shot yourself in the foot on that one.
Yeah.
You really do have to be quick. Yeah.
Yes.
One of my things too, like email is the easiest for me because I'm pretty much welded to the computer, so that's my big thing, is I can hammer out the email and stuff, and you get people that definitely like want to text and stuff. But yeah, for us to be able to, have our process, keep it quick, it's always email. And I know some people don't like that, but that's definitely the way to get stuff turned fast.
Yeah. You guys have someone doing your website, or you guys run that yourself?
It's kind of a mix right now.
Yeah,
in the beginning, we had someone help us out with it and get us started and everything. So right now we're trying to, we add in our kits and everything. We want to get new tabs put on for like merch and for canopies and for all the other stuff we do, because people aren't aware of the capacity of stuff that we can do.
Yeah. And what's the website?
Qhik Moto, Qhik Moto.
QhikMoto.com. Oh, I think I saw that you guys, so your graphics on there, you could pick from, and then you can also customize them, right? But do you guys print other people's, say like HRC Honda on there, or you guys have on your website, you don't do that? Like other companies?
Rick's probably a better one to answer this, but there's trademarking issues with that. So with that customer, we always kind of have to let them know, like, hey, this we can or can't do. And as far as displaying it on the website, we just don't do that just for legal purposes. So say I want to put Rockstar Energy on my bike. You guys probably wouldn't do that. Not that I want that, but you guys probably wouldn't do that
unless you have written consent from Rockstar.
So you ride from Rockstar.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So
we had to do that with Cam Zink this year. We did his graphics with the Monster logo, and we had to get proof or approval from Monster and his sponsors and all that stuff just to provide that for him.
And why do you guys do that? Because it seems like other people don't do that.
Just brand trademarks and everything. You don't want to. Yeah, the energy drink companies are super big on it, but they'll come after you for sure.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just saying, I've seen other companies and they'll print whatever. It seems like
they get their slaps on the wrist though, because we've gotten slapped on the wrist by an OEM before. At least I have in my previous business, and you got to be careful with it. It's a big fine. KTM, for example, they slapped my wrist and said next time's $3,000 legal purposes. So you work the logo so it looks like the KTM logo where the customer can't really tell, but we're kind of in the safe zone, legal wise.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are covered.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just I've never seen that, so then I was like, I want to ask you guys about it, see what it is, but it makes sense.
And yeah, they they're like their logo and their brand, they have to uphold a certain look to it and standard. So definitely understand from their end of it. And we don't want people just slapping our logo on random stuff. We've had people do that and we're like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, they stretch it and, all that stuff where it's not in the brand guideline. Yeah. And I think that's what they're worried is there's some hack people out there in a way with Illustrator and all that stuff. And they don't know how to stretch logos or place it. So it's just getting back to their brand guidelines, and a lot of people just don't know that.
Yeah. I think back in the day, certain companies used to sell graphics. So you could probably go somewhere and get the Monster graphics. Yeah. And they were like already approved for that bike. But now where it's gone, it's printing. You don't just go to a website and let me get that one. Yeah. Now it's you guys go to the actual printer, the company that prints all the graphics, and that's why it's a little bit different now.
Yeah. more custom. And
Yeah, and there's a lot of licensing involved with that. Kind of going back to all the dirt bike graphic companies with the saturated market, is there's only like 4 of them that have the licensing for the Monsters, the Red Bulls, the Rockstars, and that's why those companies are so big, is because they have the licensing agreement. They can put that Red Bull logo on a KTM 65 and not get slapped on the wrist. And there are customers out there that look for those specific logos. And unfortunately, just at the time we're at right now, that's just not our customer, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's good. Back on the merch side. So you guys see, obviously merch is big for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some people, that's how they make their living, you know? But you guys see like all these influencers or maybe even companies, oh, win this bike, be entered to buy some merch and be entered to win this bike.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, we've talked about that too with a few bikes we have sitting there. We're like, should we raffle these off? And once we start getting more merch and stuff, it's crazy. It seems like a trend that's definitely picking up with a lot of different companies and a lot of different industries.
Yeah.
And it's great though, because you take a couple dollars per order, the bike's actually not that expensive, and you don't really lose net profit, on your order, a couple bucks. So I think the business model makes sense. It's just, almost just fronting the cash to buy the bike is the biggest problem.
And then sometimes it's, hey guys, I'm over here at Ridezilla and they're giving me this bike, even though you're buying it.
Yeah.
They're giving you, at cost or something. So you're shouting them out, and then also, so they get a part of that, and then you get the bike, and then you get the money. So
yeah, if I had to guess, in the next 12 months, we'll probably be giving away a motorcycle.
Yeah, I'll be buying some merch.
That's my second passion. I love building bikes, so that'd be great.
It would be fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I always think it's a scam though. I just think like, oh, they're giving it to their friend and then they get it back or something.
We have a buddy, actually a customer of ours, that just won the AEO bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from Supercross. They were raffling off a bike here in Reno. He won it.
Huh.
I'm doing a graphics kit for him right now, actually.
But what was the raffle? It was a raffle ticket or buy a merch?
Actually, I think it was like retag and share 3 people in in the comment section type thing.
See, I like to hear that because, like I say, I always think it's, a little bit of line going on.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast win this Tesla, and then I actually know a guy that won a Tesla from Mr. Beast.
Oh wow!
Gnarly.
And I've never seen him post a Tesla. So I'm like, where's that Tesla at?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's kind of one of those things just for the social media to make it bigger than it is, and people like eat it up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't really know how legit that stuff is.
Yeah.
But
we're almost the opposite with our social media. Like we get a lot of tags and posts, and like we reshare it on our stories. But as far as content, we're, I would say, below average.
Right.
And it's just another step in the right direction that we need to take. But maybe that'll be it for us, is giving away some bikes to get some better followers or more followers.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. You better hope that a friend don't win it, because then I'll be like, hey, you just gave it to him.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a good model, and imagine just winning a bike just because you won or you bought a beanie.
It's always a great feeling.
In 2008, I actually won a motorcycle in a raffle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Fallon Arena Cross. Yep, they picked my name. I was like 14 years old. I won a 2008 Kawasaki 250.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I traded it in at BBH the next day for a CR85.
Didn't you have some backlash for that though? Wasn't it kind of didn't people think it was a friend situation?
Yeah, it was fun. Well, what was ironic is I had a neighbor next door that had spinal bifida, and he loved motorcycles. So we took him to the race, and I was like, hey man, you get to draw the winning ticket tonight. And they rolled him out there in his wheelchair, and he pulled my ticket, and I was like, uh-oh. But it worked out great.
Yeah, that's cool. I like hearing stories like that though.
Yeah.
Just the people winning, and it's like, all right, cool.
It does happen.
It does happen, yeah, for sure.
It does.
Yeah. So what's the next plan for you guys? As far as, you're pretty good, well off right now with the company and everything like that, but the next 6 months, how do you guys see it growing? And then also, what's the plan if it does grow to where you think it is?
Go ahead.
For me, definitely, I would like to get the website updated, get more stuff on there so it's more user-friendly. People can order like a whole package, they can order their graphics kit, canopy, pretty much get their whole race team set up, so to speak, and then getting into a building, you know, so we can start expanding and getting more production guys, more designers, and be able to take on the capacity, because we have a lot of resources and a lot of people that we can kind of utilize to expand and grow, and it's just a matter of waiting to pull that trigger, you know, and that's something that we've talked about.
Yeah, and with both of us just relying on our strengths and not our weaknesses, that's like one of his strengths is, you know, how the customer sees it, because he's getting all the customer emails. So website is, you know, his main focus. My next is another revenue stream. Just like anything, I think pop-up, booth, merch, stuff like that kind of is 3 different ideas, but kind of all the same thing. But yeah, just getting another revenue stream with merch and stuff like that. And then, you know, it complements his strength with getting the website up to date and selling the merch as well. So it's kind of like the same thing, but different, but
yeah, absolutely. He's always he gets the race portion of it, cause he's always out there. For me, I've kind of, throttled back a little bit with having the family life and stuff. So I'm a little, pulled back from going out to the races, but you know, for having all of our stuff out there, he gets to see it firsthand.
Yeah. And how is that? You go to the races, but you're not just there being part owner of Qhik. You're there trying to beat people on the track.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's our local pro class. I would say we have about 90% of those guys in Qhik Graphics right now. So it's tough. Like I said, I put my helmet on and I see red. It's just the racer in me. So yeah, when I get off the track and something doesn't go my way, I do have to go in the motorhome and chill out for a second, just because, you know, my name is on this company and we're one of the title sponsors and all that stuff. So I really have to take a chill pill sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want people in the pits being like, man, that guy's a dick. And he owns his company. Yeah.
Yes. You know, and it is hard to draw that line. Like I couldn't imagine, you know, one of the top pros like having a business within the sport, you know, or that sponsors Feld Entertainment or something like that. It's difficult balance, but I think that's why I want the booth too, because it'll give a little bit more separation for me. I could have somebody run the booth and like it, and I can kind of just be the racer on the weekend. I don't have to promote as much.
Mm-hmm. And then how hard is it for you to switch from the racer at the track and then also, you know, going out there, maybe mingling with people more than usual? I don't really know, like, really your personality, like if you're really like outgoing, you're out there just talking to everyone, or you're kind of more reserved, you're just chilling, especially because you got a race coming up, or you crashed in the first turn, so you're pissed off or whatever. So do you have a switch? Yeah,
I definitely have a switch. I've had to I've had to grow that personality trait in me, especially over the last year, but it's very difficult. It's it's something I can't really describe because I'm still learning it today. You know, talking about that crash that I had this weekend, I bet you I had 25 people in my pit the second I got back off of the mule, and I'm concussed and I have my visor hanging down and my bike's mangled. And I literally had a customer tell me like, I love the graphics that you did last week. And it's just like, I'm so happy for you, but right now I'm not happy. So give me a minute and I'll you know, hear you out here in a minute. But it is a hard switch to do, because I am there to make money and I'm there to race and I'm there to grow the brand based off of how good I do on the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a wild one.
Yeah, we're learning, but luckily I'm 29. We're about to get into the vet classes, so things are about to slow down a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, there's always some. I'm in the vet classes, and those guys are cheaters.
Well, consider me one now.
So, what do you big events you guys got coming up? Anything?
Mammoth. Yeah, Mammoth's our big one. Just even on the customer side, just orders in general, it's a big month for us with Mammoth, and I think after that we kind of have a break finally. Do we?
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, it's definitely a lot different than last year. Our trophy business is definitely picking up, so that's is definitely time consuming, but in a good way. You know, I think a lot of people don't understand that too. They just see the graphic portion of it, but we are we have trophy orders all over the nation right now, so it's definitely time consuming.
And how'd you guys get the word out that you guys do that?
It's just kind of organic, and me going to the races helps a lot because I'm meeting all of these track owners and promoters and stuff like that. And I just kind of bring it up of, hey, who's doing your trophies? You think I could give you a bid? And, we send them a bid and they approve it almost every single time, to be honest.
Yeah. You know who does Supercross trophies or like those pro events?
It's a mix between companies. I know prior employer, we used to do some stuff, or they used to do some stuff for it. And then as far as like the podium awards that are up there, I'm honestly not sure who Feld has doing those.
Yeah, that'd be sick if you guys could get that.
Yeah.
Because they get some cool trophies.
Oh, yeah.
Big trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff's, it's fun. We did some cool ones for Virginia City Grand Prix and Stadium GP this year. I don't know if you had a chance to see those, but they're, probably about 70 pounds each. And poor little Pee-wees are up there trying to hold them up.
Yeah.
Arms are shaking.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
A lot of custom awards, kind of like the outdoor nationals. Each round, they actually have a different trophy builder building those trophies. We actually get to collab with a buddy of ours, Al, for Redbud this year.
Oh, cool.
So we'll, Redbud trophies. We'll have a little part in that this year.
Yeah. You guys definitely need to be posting that on social media.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's like cool stuff.
We will.
People will be pumped on seeing that. So you probably will get a lot of orders after Mammoth, all the carnage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the guys that ruin their graphics.
Number changes, people tearing stuff apart for sure.
Yeah. You guys, so you're going to be out there?
Yes. That's the plan, as long as my head and everything's good from this weekend. But either way, I'll be at Mammoth.
But you're going to be there pro weekend or both weekends?
Both weekends, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of my job, to be honest, is to be there. So yeah, I'll be there.
How cool is that?
It's something I've dreamed of my whole life, and now that I'm at the races, and even though it's more on a local amateur level, it's definitely something I've always wanted to do. I've been an office guy, I've been in construction, and I've always thought of this for my life. So I'm really glad that I'm here, and I'm grateful, and I'm taking advantage of it. It's not like I'm trying to get 100 customers a weekend, but if you talk to the people that are parked right next to you and maybe in front of you, I would say odds are 80% of the time those people order the next week. So it's just, being a friendly face, and, if they need a tool or a part, you help them out, and just kind of going back to the roots of moto. And I think that's why we have done so well, is we are like the root of moto. We want to help, and we're not trying to rip anybody off. We want a good product, and we want people to love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really cool. Did you ever, riding moto, turning pro, being like, okay, I'm probably not going to make it as a career. Did you, because I know I have a lot of friends that ride and everything, and when they retire or they stop, the only sensible thing to do for them is like, I want to stay in the industry. Yeah. So you kind of built a business where like it allows you to stay in the industry, but that probably was that your goal at the end of the day? No,
it wasn't until I lacerated my liver. My wife owned a business, and I was working technically a 9 to 5. And at that point, I made that decision that day when I was laying in the hospital. I'm going to work for myself. It's going to be in the industry, and I'm going to figure it out. Okay. And, years later, here we are.
Yeah. And now, you go to the races still. And even if you're not going to ride, but you get to be there and hang out. And I mean, for the people that don't ride moto, or, a lot of people that listen to the podcast don't ride moto, probably haven't been to a race or anything like that, but like the environment is just awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's great. It's so grassroots, and our local moto right now is so young. That's probably the most exciting part, is just how young all the 50 kids are. There's so many 50s and 60s and even 85s. Like it's motivating, just because you see all these kids and they're so happy that they have, Toy Story on their bike or whatever. It's kind of kiddie graphics, but it's so awesome to see like their face with it, because not a lot of people are doing that kind of stuff. And, we want to cater to them.
Right. That's cool. And you don't get out to the track too much?
No, not as much as I should. I'm more of I love moto. I've grown up with that and everything. I definitely need to get out I'm a desert rat. So I definitely need to get out there. We are one of the sponsors for our local desert series, Moran. I need to get out there and kind of rep the brand and start, talking to everyone out there. I don't think there's enough of our graphics on those bikes.
Right.
And I don't know if that's people just thinking we're like specific for moto and we don't do certain like desert bikes and stuff, or they just, have different companies that they use because they're desert companies or something of that sort. But yeah, that's my background when I raced early on, and I love to get back out there and be back to my roots.
Yeah. But you feel more comfortable being in the office or being out there?
I think it's more like I've just kind of built up this layer on me. When we had the kids and stuff, I really stayed home a lot, and just used to being in the office. I'd love to be back out there though. So when I do get out there, I'm always able to convince me to get out there. I always have a blast and have a great time, and I always come back home gassed up, and the wife's like, "Wow, you're in such a good mood."
Okay, yeah. Well, that's good then. That's a good balance.
Yeah,
you get kind of drained, and then you're like, "Hey, let me go out there," and then you come motivated.
Yeah, I'm really good at building up in my head a false scenario. I'm like, "Oh my gosh," and then I get all worked up and I don't make it out there. So just got to overcome that, and get out there and shake some hands and
that's very important.
Yeah, big time. Makes a huge difference. I think people like to put a face to the person typing behind the keyboard for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we're saying with him. Sometimes you want to behave because then they're like, man, the dude from Qhik, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
And really, you're not. It's just that you're in the heat of a moment because maybe they don't realize that you're out there trying.
Yeah.
You're out there trying to ride and do the best that you can too. It's not just you're just out there having fun.
Absolutely. And it's so hard to take that out of you, especially when you're a racer from a young age. And I did fairly well as an amateur growing up, and I had a lot of good OEM support, there towards the end that to switch that off back to like a local level or, a vet style riding, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
How was arena cross for you this year?
Probably the most challenged I've ever been on a motorcycle, to be honest. I've always been a lot better indoor racer. But this year it was stacked. I'm getting old. I haven't ridden a 250F in 5 or 6 years, and we got a 250F and built a race bike, and it was shell shocking, to be honest. I got whooped at the first round and kind of had to go back to the basics. And towards the end, we were doing a lot better, but it was difficult, man. Being 5'6", trying to hit massive whoops is hard.
And you and Conway traveled together, or were you by yourself?
A little of both. We were on the same team. We did a program together this year through Ridezilla and Dirt Tricks and Fly Racing and all that. Cool. But he flew to most of the rounds. I drove to them, and then he ended up tearing his ACL. So I was kind of solo there at the end.
Yeah, that's cool. One last hurrah, or are you going to do it again?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do arena cross again, to be honest. It was very difficult on my body. I've had 7 shoulder surgeries. So that kind of riding just doesn't cater to my shoulders anymore. So I'll probably just stick to outdoor stuff and really just prioritize this local moto community and start going to NorCal and SoCal and maybe that Utah, Idaho series. I really want to just have a better face in this local racing, to be honest, because I've been on a national level for so long. This local series doesn't really know who I am, to be honest. So I'm kind of reintroducing myself to all these locals.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, good luck with that.
And you're,
Thanks.
You're slowly getting in the desert again, right?
I kind of am. I did Virginia City Grand Prix this year.
How was that?
That was tough, man. Yeah. I did not have the bike set up for it. Rick actually has my bike now, and he rode in the desert and was like, dude, you had it way off. So I just softened my compression all the way, and I didn't even mess with high speed or rebound or any of that. And it was brutal. I got 30th overall in my first ever Virginia City Grand Prix. It was like 4 hours and 40 minutes. And we did a Dale Earnhardt kit.
And, I saw that.
Yeah, and did the helmet. And we went all in on it. And honestly, it helped the brand a lot, to be quite frank. It was our biggest post we ever did on Instagram and stuff like that. So it was fun in that aspect. The riding itself was shit. It was rocky and dusty and gnarly.
Well, that's what's cool about what you guys are doing. You know, you try and do like a full thing, like the helmet, the bike, and everything, maybe even gear, and then it's for the business.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so then you're posting it and you get more engagement, because I did see that. That was cool.
Yeah.
You get more engagement when you do things like that, you know, and people are like, dude, I want that, even though maybe you can't do it for people because copyright or whatever, but it still puts that idea out there that these guys are doing something that's really cool.
Yeah, it's always fun too, you know, getting to use the creative ability and just do something that's completely different. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes for a good time.
Yeah, and it's again using his strengths. You know, I got the number 3, and I instantly said we had a full blown Virginia City kit already designed what we were going to do, and then I found out my number was 3, and we were like, nope, scratch that idea. We're doing Dale Earnhardt. We're going crazy because I kind of only had one chance to ever do something like that, because next year odds are my number's not going to be 3 because it's a random draw and stuff like that. So we really took advantage of it this year.
Yeah, nice. I got to ask you, dude, for personal use coming up Mammoth this weekend or next weekend for me, dude, how do you rip starts on the cement so good? I saw you at Fernley. I think you did like 4 or 5 motos and you got the whole shot every time.
Yeah. Concrete starts are kind of my specialty. It's you roast the tire, get the grip, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest things is I lock my elbows. I don't like any upper movement of the body, so I lock my elbows, and when I lock my elbows, it tends to lock my throttle position with it, because you kind of like roll your shoulders back.
Yeah.
And once I lock in, all I have to focus on is the clutch. I don't have to focus on my next shift. I don't have to focus on moving my weight or throttle or any of that. So I put all of my focus on the clutch, and that seems to give me good starts.
And what gear are you starting in?
Mammoth, I am second, but I run a 53 tooth sprocket.
Oh, okay.
In order to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would do first on any other gearing.
I think you remind me a lot of like Dustin Miller.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I've seen Miller start at Fernley before they reopened it.
Yeah.
So it was a few years ago. He started in 3rd.
Oh wow.
On a 450, just smoked everyone. And I'm like, I don't know how you even do that, but okay.
Interesting. I've never tried a 3rd gear start. Never.
Just ripped it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I saw you that weekend and I'm like, damn, dude, Timo's got the concrete starts on lock.
No, it's a lot of years of practice, to be honest. A lot of tires and clutches, and it's weird because now dirt starts are so irrelevant. Like I just did a race 3 weeks ago, and that was my first dirt start in almost 3 years. Oh wow! Because I've been starting on grates in arena cross. Yeah. All these local tracks have concrete now, so dirt starts actually are like, foreign to me. I almost don't know how to do dirt starts anymore.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And I had Jones on the show, and we were talking about I called all the riders pussies.
Yeah.
That are over 5'9" using start blocks.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I'm like, you and I,
we need them.
It's not to be cool or nothing. We need them.
Yes.
But a guy that's 5'9" and above, you don't need it. But you see, even Jet, he runs them, and he's probably like over 6 feet.
Yeah, Malcolm Stewart has them.
Yeah,
he's huge.
Anderson.
Yeah,
I saw someone posted a video of him starting the other day at Thunder Valley, and I'm like, dude, you're like over 6 feet. Like, there's no way you need him. But Jones was telling me that you were talking to him, and he said that there's a certain way that you put them that helps out a lot.
Yeah, I've tried it. I haven't done it recently, but you can put your blocks so tall that the heels of your feet are still on the foot pegs.
Yeah.
So when you come out of the gate, your
feet are on.
Yeah, your feet are on, and there's no upper body movement, lower body movement. It's just kind of straight traction. But a lot of the MXGP guys are implementing that.
I've seen that. It's crazy.
It is insane. I'm not like that. I like my feet down, but I like my blocks high enough where I could put all my weight on my seat and not my ankles and my feet. So as long as I can kind of stay light on the starting blocks and have all my butt weight for the grip, then I'm usually pretty locked in.
Huh. Okay. See, I got to get all these tips.
Yeah, you got to get what you can, man.
Mammoth hole shot's iconic. It feels good when you get one.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, but
you should this year.
Well, we'll see. I'm coming back.
Graphics, you got the technique down.
Right.
Put it out there, man.
Yeah, I want to get with you guys and no Diddy. Yeah, I want to get with you guys and design something cool. Yeah. I've always wanted to do something like that, but I think about it and then I'm like, oh, the race is like next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
always think about it too late, but
have you seen our Mammoth kit that just dropped?
I think so.
Yeah, every year we do a Mammoth specific kit because it is probably our biggest event that we have like the most graphics at. And yeah, we just launched it last week. So it's pretty cool. But if you want your own unique twist on it, let's do it.
No. Yeah, I think it's way too close. I know you guys are busy, but no, just in general, like something cool.
Yeah.
So I know like that's what Twitch does. He always gets with the people and he's like, this is what I'm thinking. But he builds a whole bike, right?
Totally.
Everything's like custom on his bike. But I think just having something cool just put out there, you know, and I think for social media, it's always good.
Let's do it.
People will always gravitate to that and they're like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, it always makes for good posts.
That's funny you bring that up. Sean Palmer is on us right now about that. He wants to make like a Palmer series through Qhik Moto. So
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that might drop because he has such an iconic logo. And if we can get the rights to, you know, Sean Palmer the Great, that'd be awesome.
I'd run his graphics.
Same. I think I would too. I love his logo.
Dude, I have a pair of his graphics. They're for, I don't know what year bike, but it's for a 250 Honda. And they were the black and white and like silver. I have a pair of that.
That's so sick.
I should get plastics for that and just put them on because I just have them, you know?
Yeah.
So I should put them on some plastics and hang them up actually.
Shadow box them.
Dude, how old are those graphics?
They have to be from like 2006.
Oh, wow.
8.
I don't know if the adhesive is still there, dude. Like to stick them on.
Yeah, maybe.
Fall right off.
They might be shrunken down like an inch and you might not even know it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just sitting there. I got some graphics like that from some people, so it'd be cool. Thinking about that, just putting it.
Yeah, no, we totally should.
Yeah.
Palmer's legit, and we have a good friendship. So I would love to, you know, collab with him, and that's kind of another step in the direction too. Is all these graphic companies do these big collabs with their athletes, and you know, who knows? Maybe Sean Palmer's our athlete right now. You know.
No, right, and like I'm saying, for the social media side, that's where, you know, you get a lot of content from that.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be good for you guys.
Yeah, it's an iconic name for sure. I remember growing up hearing about him all the time, so that'd be fun.
Yeah. Do you know if he's racing Mammoth?
I don't know yet.
I know he has a bike.
Yeah. My buddy Justin gave him a bike, and man, he has put some hours on it this fall or this spring already. Man, he's ripping.
Dude, what's wild is I think Wilson's wife listens to this, so how's it going? Hook us up. But no, I think he was talking to Cliffy, and he wanted to get a couple bikes for like Mason Palmer to race Mammoth.
Oh, really?
Well, fuck, man, it must be nice.
Yeah,
you know?
Geez, dude.
But that's pretty sick. Like have, you know, your team is Mason Palmer.
Yeah.
And then you just have, you know, you get graphics done for Wilson or whatever, and go out there and just have some fun. But Mace wasn't down. Yeah. Seems like Palmer was.
Yeah. I think Palmer's in because I've been talking to him a bit. I know his biggest worry is that bike's a 250F and he wants to beat McGrath. Like, you know, Palmer, he's hard-headed, but he wants to go in and beat McGrath. So I don't know if he could do that on a 250F. Yeah. I think he needs a 450 for that.
Were you there last year?
I was, yes.
Yeah, McGrath spanked everyone.
Dude, he's
like not even trying.
So funny you say that. Is last year was the first time I've ever been on track with McGrath because I got to do vet practice, and I've always looked at McGrath like he's not that fast at his age.
Yeah.
Dude, he blew past me, and I'm young and, you know, kind of still fit and all that stuff. Man, I could not believe how fast he was. Yeah, it was probably 10 seconds a lap faster.
That's so nice.
Well, I know you know, Nate's not in the greatest shape, but he was out there running with them, and you know, McGrath was, I don't know, 5. I want to say 5. I don't want to say 10.
Yeah.
But 5 seconds ahead of everyone, and Nate, Tierney, and a couple other guys were battling like in 4th there.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't catch him.
No, man.
And it didn't look like he was trying.
And that's the thing is, you know, kind of like Jet now, I think McGrath almost just manages that track so well that I think he has another gear if he really wanted to.
Yeah. And I think he rides to the point where he's probably not in the best shape.
Probably not.
You know, but it looks like he is. But he's probably not in the best shape. He's just so naturally good on a dirt bike that he probably doesn't get tired just because he's riding at the pace that he can.
Yeah.
The technique doesn't leave him.
Yeah.
I do a lot of vintage racing. We go to the CZ Nationals every year, a lot of the like old guys from like the 70s and stuff, the old pros are probably like 70, 80 now. And it's actually unbelievable how fast some of those dudes still are on the old bikes. Like, dude, they come ripping, they're 70 years old and they come ripping by me, you know. I'm a little ashamed to say that, but they're old pros from back in the day, John DeSoto and stuff, dude. And yeah, I'm blown away. Technique's just still there.
Yeah. Just comes easy to them.
Yeah. Well, they probably haven't been on a modern bike either. They like don't know any better.
Have you never thought of doing the fire and ice race?
I really want to.
Right? Yeah.
I want to, but yeah, again, I get all, you know, nervous, like, oh man, but yeah, got to get up there. We have like probably 25 vintage bikes that are
you need to sign up.
ready to go.
Yeah, Rick's the vintage king. He has tons of vintage bikes.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to sign up. That's always a good one. It's always the first moto.
Yeah, that sounds so sick. Be on a nice groom track. I always hear stories from them that used to race Arma out there. My dad raced it a lot, and it would be a great experience before can't race vintage out there or something. So yeah, I might have to get out there, but I'm sure he'll convince me to go.
That'd be sick, dude. I know there's some really old bikes out there, and the guys struggle with them.
Yeah,
and then there's some old ones, but those guys have it dialed.
Yeah.
I remember last year, Eric Swan was out there on one. Dude, he had construction boots on, no helmet.
Oh yeah,
So gnarly.
Just ripping. And I'm like, wow, who was that guy? And then I'm like, oh, I think he had a helmet on, but it was like a
3/4.
I'm like, dude, that guy was ripping on like a 125, whatever it was.
Mo, let's get you out there on the vintage bike.
Oh man, I don't know if I could trust those brakes. Like, I don't think I've ever ridden drum brakes.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
Have you ever ridden a 2-stroke?
It's been a while. Because 150Rs came out when I was on 80s, the little Honda bike. So I've been on a 4-stroke since I got off 60s.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Dang.
Yeah, that's wild. Dang.
How would that'd be cool to get one of those vintage bikes out there and graphic it up, but I think the vintage guys would kind of get pissed. Be like, what are you doing to that 2 bike?
They some of them are very like die hard about keeping them, old school, and some of them are really down for it. I think it'd have to be done in modesty, like certain like little tank decals, and they're really big on their number plates. Like if you do the number plates right, they're stoked.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do the flat track one?
Yeah. Flat track's definitely like in my family lineage. So
Okay.
gotta show up to that stuff and get out there. We have a bunch of flat track bikes as well. I'm building one right now. So yeah, that's flat track's always fun. Everyone thinks it's kind of boring and stuff, but until you get out there and you really got to like throw the bike around and stuff, it's kind of a different story. So
have you done it?
I've done it once, but on a moto bike. So not really. I want to get on like a legit squatted flat track bike because even on like my moto bike, I felt like I was ripping. So I'd be curious to get on like a real one. But I don't want to wear that steel boot. I tell him all the time. Have you seen that? Yeah. They put that steel boot on the left foot. I don't want to wear that. I think
I would go all out just because. So when I do bad, I'm like, dude, I'm on a 1960 bike, man. Come on, give me a 450 nowadays.
Yeah.
Just like play it out to that, but no, I just suck.
Yeah, it kind of acts as like it's kind of weird, but like how you pivot it too, it kind of acts like as a paddle for helping you steer.
Yeah, but I need an excuse if I get beat. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's just take that off and what could have been if I had one, right?
All right, guys. Well, we're a little over an hour. It goes by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Where can anyone find you guys? On social?
Yeah, Qhik Moto, Qhik Moto, Moto, on Instagram, Facebook, and our website as well. Everything's spelt the same. And you can find us on all the platforms. We do have a TikTok too. We could probably be better about it, but yeah. Yeah.
And then personal goal for you?
Personal goal for me, shoot, man, probably make it out to more races and I guess get to a point where I can work a little less and focus more on like building bikes and kind of the passion, get out to, I love 2 wheels, everything with 2 wheels. Mm-hmm. And the biggest one, man, is giving back to the moto community because it's given so much to us. So
awesome. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I second that. Just giving back more to the moto community, giving away motorcycles and stuff like that. I would love to help more racers and families get into it and all that. I guess another, underlying goal is I want to do $1 million in this business. I think that's our next goal. And I think it's very achievable. I think it's right there. But yeah, we really want to do $1 million out of my house since we still kind of do the printing here. I think it'd be a really cool feat for us.
Damn, dude, I need to come work for you guys.
Yeah, come on.
So this year was the first, obviously it's your first year, but you guys started doing the sponsorship program. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? And then also like when do you guys open that up for next year?
Yeah, we open it up in October. Okay. Everyone's usually January through December on their sponsorship program. So we open it up every October. We took on like 128 athletes this year.
Oh, wow.
In our local community. We gave them all sweatshirts, hats, backpacks, all that stuff. We wanted to give away free product because sponsors don't do that anymore. They just give out a discount code. Mm-hmm. And it's actually funny. It's kind of become our customer acquisition costs is essentially a sweatshirt. Once we give somebody a free product, it seems like they're a customer forever.
Right.
So that's been really cool. And going to the races, our brand is everywhere and we don't even sell merch. It's just what we've given away so far.
Right.
So doubling down on that this next year will be another big goal. We want to give back more and give out better products and keep moving forward with that. I want everybody in the country with a dirt bike to be sponsored by Qhik.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it helps everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, you being a rider for you guys get the care package, and then also what do you get as far as graphics? Like a percentage off?
Yeah, 40% off.
Okay.
We did that across the board for everybody. It didn't matter if you were a 250 beginner or a 250 pro. Right. Everybody got the same deal this year just because I think everybody deserves it. I don't think your result determines your percentage. Social media and engagement, stuff like that affects it a lot more these days.
And also gives them we gave them a friends and family discount too. So it kind of gives them an initiative to be, I guess, outside sales rep kind of, but it gives them the opportunity to give back to their friends and family, and they have a discount code that they can share.
Yeah. No, you guys got it going on, dude. You guys got the right mindset and everything. I'll be sending my application in October.
Perfect.
You'll see
great.
a last place in Mammoth on there. But
all good.
Hey, I'll be posting.
Yeah, that's what matters.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. It's been really cool to sit down with you guys and learn. And hopefully anyone out there that's trying to start a business, especially a graphic design or decal business, they got some little insight from this.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to always put out these podcasts like that. So there's always someone that wants to do it, and then they're just this close, but they just,
you got to make that jump, And for me, like, I wasn't going to make the jump, but I got the push.
Yeah.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah, I'm the persuader.
Yeah. Now you're happy.
Yeah, big
now
time.
You're pumped that
I
you
love
did
it. Yeah, that's great. I guess before we end, just want to give a shout out to all of our customers and everyone that supported us. Thank you. It's been a great 1 year, and we look forward to growing with everyone and growing more and giving everyone a even better product for this year and years to come.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, second that. I'll be seeing you guys at the races.
All right, so 2025, Qhik takeover.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the plan.
There we go. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, man.